and absolutely no one will be wearing knee-high boots with zippers. It's the wrong decade. Do you understand me? The wrong decade! Ugh! Who the hell convinced me to produce a stage version of Grease 2? After 7 years, I know one or two things about the way the man behaves. I could have predicted you coming. Oh, sure. When it first started to hit him, career crisis number 255. Oof, this was a bad one. Hadn't had a singing gig in months. Starts feeling unsure and inadequate. Next thing you know, he's a blonde. Doesn't help. Starts showing signs of depression. Next thing you know, he's a Buddhist. Now I'm being woken every morning by a blonde Puerto Rican chanting Namyo Horenge Kyo at a box nailed to my bedroom wall. Now I know what you must be thinking, Jason. You think that I'm strategizing. You think that the battle has begun now that it's all out in the open. Maybe I'll do something dramatic, like fire you, make a big scene and push him away. Then you can move in while my guard is down. You don't know the first thing about our relationship, do you? Hector wouldn't care if I threw a fit. He's seen that movie 100 times. He really has no interest in some Adrian Zemed wannabe with nice tits and teeth. He knows he's already found the hardest thing there is to find in this lifetime. Someone who's willing to put up with him. In all of his moods, in all of his crises. Someone who tolerates him completely. Spares the rest of the world the trouble. Yo, Bubble, let me ask you something. Anyone ever want to spank you? You let them? Well, like the first time with Harlan, right? He wanted me to lay face down on the bed, and he played with my ass a little. You know what? I'm not even sure he was touching me. Nah, just moving his hands real slow against the little hairs. That kind of tickled at first. But then he asked if it's okay if he could spank me. And I was like, no way. But then he said he would stop if it hurt or anything. So I said, yo, that's gonna be more money. So he said, okay. So I let him do it. No big deal. I knew I could overpower him if it got weird or anything. He got this big Victorian Moorish house with an Italiante tower in one corner and an old turret with a spiral staircase in the other corner. Yo, it's supposed to be like a guard tower, only he used it for a gym. Yo, he gave me my own bedroom with my own bathroom and a veranda. And mostly I slept with him, right? Well, because he's a cuddler, you know. Then he pulls out this rope and he ties it around my dick and around my balls and between my balls. Yo, it was the most beautiful night I ever seen. It must have been a Boy Scout or something. I had the biggest, reddest, veiniest heart on. Then he pulls out this big black horsehair brush that's for like cleaning out the inside of his cameras or something. He starts dragging it all over my body. Across my cheek, down my chest, my stomach, down my thigh. Totally avoids my dick for the longest time. He's coming up between my legs and I'm convulsing like there's this current going through me. Right before he gets to my balls, I kick him in the chest. So he puts down the brush, right? And he comes back with these other two straps. And he ties both my ankles to the other bedpost. I guess so like I don't kick him again. Nah, because like one time in Paris, right? Yeah, he took me to Paris. Yeah, he got me a passport and everything. They had to do this photo shoot for Helmut Lang, right? They wanted to be in this really cool cemetery. So he convinced them to use Père Lachaise. Yo, it's in Paris, right in the heart of Paris. It's so cool there. They got these enormous stones and these little one-person mausoleums that are like little miniature churches. And you know, everybody's there. Jim Morrison, that dude from the Doors movie, and Edith Piaf, this French singer they're also into. And Chopin. Yo, you gotta hear his nocturnes. They are so deep. I'll lend them to you sometime. Yo, and Oscar Wilde is there too. Oh, he's this funny rider who was fucking this rich boy whose father was not having it. So we're staying in this little hotel in the Marais, right? Yo, it's kind of like Chelsea, only very European. and he got me over his lap, right? And he's using this big wooden paddle. No, it don't hurt, it just makes a lot of noise. And I'm all, thank you, sir, thank you, sir. And then this French dude from the room next to us starts banging on the wall and screaming all this shit in French that is not on these tapes. Suddenly, all the boys I've been pumping with all day and partying with all night were out on the streets, marching and protesting. All right, it wasn't the Stonewall riots or anything. But we did smash some windows in Century City. And one night we brought shopping to a complete standstill on Rodeo Drive. Thousands of tourists lined the streets as we marched by chanting, "We're here, we're queer, we design the clothes you wear." Guess I gave him the right phone number, because a few weeks later he calls me up. And he's all, I know this is kind of last minute, but my roommate just got this 2-month gig at a dyke bar in Chico. Only we have these tickets to Barbra Streisand tomorrow night in Anaheim, opening night. Wanna go? I knew you wouldn't believe it. So I brought the tickets. A Nederlander event, Barbra Streisand the concert, Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim. So we get there, and it is packed, but very well organized. Everyone is in such a great mood. There have never been so many Jews and queers in Orange County, California at the same time as there were on that night. You could just tell we were part of history being made. He grabs my hand. He grabbed my hand in public in front of all these people. I never held a guy's hand in public before. I mean, I know it was the Streisand concert, but still. And I looked around and nobody seemed to notice. But I still felt kind of weird about it. A little embarrassed, a little uptight. Then we got inside and everyone was there. Brooke Shields, Andre Agassi, Tori Spelling, and the only gay man in the whole world who can actually say, "My mother is Barbra Streisand." I wanted to pull away, but it was so... I mean, he was holding me in front of Tori Spelling in Anaheim. You know, as you always have them, your one true love in this lifetime. Your soulmate, your muse, Yang to your Ying, Alice to your Gertrude. But you would like to have an open sexual relationship. You would like to have sex with other men. Our relationship is so strong and stable, as you point out, fortified through the years in the profound depths of our love. Surely we, of all people, can deal with it. What in God's name makes you think you can deal with it? Of course you can't deal with it. Do you want to know why you can't deal with it? I'll tell you why you can't deal with it. Because you, Milton, are a man. You're a male. You're a boy. You're an outsy. You actually want to go to some bar at your age, stand there all night holding the same drink because you know you're useless if you've had more than one. Trying to look casual, nonchalant, God save young. Listening to all that techno, disco, Euro, house music, all of which you hate. Getting all turned on by the blue-eyed Chelsea boys, the brown-eyed Banshee boys, and that Asian bodybuilder with the green contacts. Not a film you can afford. All of whom have done so much coke they haven't had a full erection since the millennium. A room full of overpriced bottoms. And finally, some guy older than you, who's been wasting his time cruising all the boys you've been wasting your time cruising, sees you, realizes you're the only one in the room he stands a real chance with that won't cost him a dime. So he comes up to you, and he starts to talk to you. And the whole time you're thinking, this room full of gorgeous boys, and I'm stuck in the corner with Regis Philbin. We were there. We were sitting downstairs at the bar of the Beverly Wilshire, and Paolo is accusing me of flirting with the Nubian god at the other end of the bar, which I was. Weren't you? Wasn't everybody? He pulls out this switchblade like a Sicilian stock character and starts swinging it at me. Oh my God, he's had more Manhattans than a church full of Kennedys. Slashes me across the shoulder. I'm screaming, bleeding, and running all over the place. This one valley boy with a billy club gets all up in my face and says, "Sir, if you don't calm down, I'm going to have to take you down to the station and charge you with felony mayhem. Half of me is all you're going to charge me. Charge me? I'm the one who's fucking bleeding. And the other half is felony mayhem." Felony mayhem. What a fabulous dragnet. Remember? That's where I got my name. Oh, we listened to their boring stories about their pretentious lives, drank their trendy vodkas, ate their free-range nouveau cuisine, snorted their drugs till we looked about 5 years older, took their semi-limp dicks up every hole in our body till we couldn't walk anymore. Oh, I couldn't do it. I could not make it believable anymore. Nope. Had to come back home, come back to New York, stand in front of Bloomingdale's window and get myself scented. Oh, well. So he's not rich. So what? Maybe we'll get rich together. Maybe not. Whatever. Everybody's got to go through some shit. So why go through it alone?